Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Recovery Lab TV. My name is Chris. I'm your coach and sports therapist, and welcome to our upper body prehab session. Hope you're all okay. Hope you're having a lovely week so far and enjoying the sunshine. It's sunny in Cardiff. I hope it's sunny where you are, and I hope you're benefiting from it. Okay. Have a lovely morning. Has it been good? Has it been stressful? Have you just come back from the school run? Whatever you've been doing, let me know how you are in the comment section, okay? Because hopefully I'm about to make it even better, okay? So the things you're going to need today, first of all, is a bottle or glass of water, okay? Some sort of drink just to keep you hydrated. Some sort of ventilation in your room, maybe open a window, open a door. Morning, Kim, how you doing? Then you're going to need some equipment, okay? So if you have one of these bands, you're going to need one of these bands. If you don't have anything whatsoever, that's absolutely fine. I will find other ways. You're going to need some sort of slippery surface applicator, if you want to call it that. Okay, I call it a sweat towel. I've got wood flooring, so that towel slides across this flooring lovely, gives it a nice little shine, so my partner's happy, and allows me to do the exercise. If you have carpet flooring, you kind of can use carrier bags, you can use Tupperware lids and slide that across, as long as you're happy to use whatever, maybe some laminate card if you've got laminate cards, or an actual conventional slip disc, if you have one. Other thing you're going to need is a big long pole, okay? That can be an actual pole, it could be a wooden bar, it could be a metal bar, it could be a mop, it could be a brush handle, you name it, whatever, as long as it's a big straight object that we can help use towards our working our shoulders and mobility and so on and so forth, okay? So what we're going to do is crack on. We're going to warm up, stretch, mobilize our shoulders, get our backs working, get our shoulders working, and then get going. Okay, morning Tim, morning Anne, morning everybody else who hasn't said hello in the comment section. That's okay, I don't hold it against you. Just hope you're okay and having a good morning so far. Waving and sending love your way. Okay, so first of all, what you're going to do, you are going to lay on your side, gently close your eyes, and we're all just going to have a little nap. Oh, no. Gently laying on your side, just like so. You've got a lovely little right angle by here, okay? Your arm is dead straight in front of your shoulder, hands on top, okay? You're going to slide forward. It's going to really stretch your shoulder blade out. You're going to slide all the way over. At this point, you're going to rotate your arm. You're going to come all the way over to your bum, all the way back, keeping your hand as low to the floor as you can. Again, taking to that point. By there, you're going to need to stretch again, okay? So it's really important you stretch each time. Then stretch back up. If you haven't already, get started. That's it. So you're aiming to get that shoulder, so you've got both shoulders down on the floor as you rotate at this furthest point. Getting that full range. Now, some of you won't be able to get your arm to the floor, okay? Especially when you get up to here and a little bit further, and that's not a problem. It just needs a little bit of work on. So the biggest improvements are through the hardest routes, okay? So if it's tough, persist with it. You will get better. I promise you. That's it. Big stretch. One more. Big rotation round. Nice and steady. Sit. Swap the sides. Sit. Big slide forward. Stretch your around. That's it. Try to keep your hips as still as you can. It's just an upper back exercise that you want to be rotating on as you're doing it. Good. So last one. Big stretch around. Keeping that arm as straight as you can. Good. From there, okay, what I want you to do is focus on laying on your back. Okay. You're gonna stretch out your arms just like so. You're gonna bend your knees so your knees are directly above your hips. You're gonna glue your shoulders down. You're gonna rotate over, keeping both shoulders down to the floor. Is gonna be slightly off. You're gonna come back and come over. Now, if you want to control your hips a little bit more, great tip for this is grab something between your thighs, okay? So I'm going to use one of my yoga blocks, okay? And then effectively, you're just going to squeeze it just like so. Now, that can be a pillow, that could be a little football, if whatever you've got in your house. Literally, it could be a foam roller. And it just allows you to have a little bit more control as you go rotating around. You're forced to squeeze your legs in place. Now, a lot of us get strong on the outside of our thighs. Not very many get strong on the inside of our thighs. Tends to be neglected. And then those outside legs tend to dominate, especially your runners, triathletes. Sit, rotating over. Good. Big drive round. Sit, good. No shoulders down. Last two. One either side. Great job. Okay, so dumping that for a second. Slide it away. From there, you're going to come into a box shape. You're going to come through. You're going to rotate all the way around. Now, it should feel a little bit easier now as you're kind of getting into this movement. And for those of you on a daily basis, this is going to be part of your daily practice. One of these moves. So you should be getting pretty good at it as you're rotating around. Especially this last 10% of the movement there. Coming through. Because the biggest emphasis you want to make, okay, the more shoulder range you have, more shoulder movement you have, the more it's going to help you with your lower back, okay? So as weird as that sounds, the more you free up your shoulders, the less you're going to demand from your lower back, okay? Swapping arms, slide them down. Big rotation, trying to get that straight line from one hand all the way to the other. That's it, big stretch around. That's it, last one. Good job. Okay, so from there, grab yourself a little cushion. I'm going to use an Eric's pad. Morning, Brian. How are you doing? So I'm going to use this. It's literally just for aesthetic reasons, just to keep your knees nice and soft. Now, it's really important that you have your knees directly underneath your hip, directly underneath your shoulder. You're going to slide down. You're going to walk it away as far as you possibly can. You're going to pause. Your nose is going to be about an inch away from the floor. Then you're going to shuffle back up. You're going to come up nice and tall and then draw your hips forward, squeezing that bum. Okay? You're trying to draw and poke through. So when you're there, stretched out, your head is engaged. Now, it's really important because a lot of us are going to bend outwards. Okay? You need to rotate in. Okay? So difference between bending this way, okay, and bending that way is huge. Okay? So the more you rotate there, okay, look what it does to my shoulders, and it opens up my chest. It allows me to engage my shoulder blade into the back of my rib cage, okay, and opens up and resets my shoulder in a safe place so I don't get that impingement on the acromion, okay? That's really important. So if you are really struggling, especially going up there, where's your elbow pointed? If it's pointed outwards, okay, and not in, then you're going to lead into problems, right? So make sure those elbows face downwards as you walk out, all right? So you ready? Starting up top, making sure everything's in line. Squeeze your bum, bend it backwards, walk it out as deep as you can. Stretching it out. Keeping your thighs, your chest off the floor. Then walk it back up. Again, squeeze your bum forward, okay? Come back. Waking them all up. That's it, coming up nice and tall. Again, squeeze, try and relax the shoulders, draw it back and down. Again, shaking it out. Good. Up top. Sit. Good. One more. Should we start to get nice and warm now? Good. So gently shake it out, loosen it up. What you're going to do is grab a seat on the floor, ideally in the same position I am. I know some of you are going to struggle, so if you want to sit on your bum, you can. You're going to draw your arm up and around, just like that. Go as tall as you can to your ear. Just to relax and warm the joints up. Coming forward. Good. And coming in and round the back. That's it. Nice and easy. Good. From there, swap the sides, back around, rotate around, just like that. Nice and steady. Good. Good. Change the direction. Good. From there, coming in, round the back. Good. Nice and easy. Big stretch up. And relax. Good job. Okay, so grabbing your bars, grabbing a drink, and get yourself ready. So, how we doing? How we feeling so far? Are we okay? So, while you're grabbing your bars. So, how many people have watched the videos that I released yesterday? How many people have found them helpful? How many people have questions? By all means, ask away and chuck it in the comment section. And for this session, or on the video itself, or on the discussion board. So yesterday, I released a video for patella pain, basically pain just behind your kneecap. Then it was a video for pain down the side of your leg. Those videos are very closely linked together, so it's worth kind of taking a look at both and doing both exercises from both videos. Then there was a video for lower back pain and back here in general. And then there's going to be a few warm-up videos released in the later end of this week for kind of swimming, cycling, running. And then we're going to go on to some rotator cuff exercise videos that I'm going to release next week because someone's asked me to make some of those as well. So if you have any queries or any videos that you would like being made, okay, especially for you, then let me know either in this comment section or afterwards. Just ping me a message on social media and I'll try and make it happen. So hopefully by now you're ready and sat there calmly with your Jedi Master Stick. From there, what you're going to do, you're going to roll your wrist nice and strong so it's dead straight, okay? You're going to take it nice and wide. You're going to draw up, all right? So you've got a nice straight line from there and the bar's up against your chest. From there, you're going to keep your elbow still as you roll, and the bar should, in theory, clear your head, okay? It's going to be close. It's going to be nerve-wracking. And then you're going to press up like you've sat up against the wall, okay? So it's there, back to here, okay? Now it's very distinct movements, okay? So don't just wing it up, okay? And just get it to there and push. It's very distinct movements, especially here to there, okay? It's important that those elbows stay still and it's that shoulder that moves, because talking about rotator cuff, these exercises work all the rotator cuff muscles, but in isolation at each point and each phase. So it's important that you're not shrugging up, okay? Your shoulders are very relaxed. You lift up with the elbow so you've got a straight line. You come over so you've got a straight line, and then you're pressing up. And your back, as I show you from the side, is very straight all the way through it as you come in, okay? So as I look there, pressing from the crown each and every time as you do it, okay? Now this shouldn't necessarily feel as hard as potentially a weighted exercise would be, okay? However, your shoulders should feel like they're getting a little warmer and you're drawing up and there, and you're kind of activating it just like so, okay? Good, so we'll do two more. So you kind of fully get in the habit of the pattern, okay? Good, right? So now what we're going to do is complicate it a little bit by coming this present, okay? And effectively, your lower back is exactly the same now. Your knees are in line with your shoulders, okay? They're directly above your hips, so you've got a straight line here. You come down, okay? So you've got that straight line, elbow to elbow. Those hands, you've got those beautiful little right angles. You come over, you clear your head, your knuckles are on the floor, you scrape your knuckles up, scrape them back down, you clear it, and you press it up. There, rotated, over, back, there, press up, okay? Your knees should be directly above your hips and your lower back should be pressed into the floor, okay? So if you haven't started already, that's it, get moving. Good. Should start to feel the hip flexors, maybe the quads, as you're holding them up. Should feel that low back being challenged. Those shoulders and key movements being challenged. Some of you may not be able to do this section as you rotate. You may be bending your wrists. So if you are, try and keep them straight. So they're like this all the way through. There, coming up. So last one. Good, relaxing your legs. Okay, so from there, what I'm going to get you to do, okay, is complicate things a little bit more. Okay, working those shoulders. How are we doing so far? Let me know. You're going to get your band. You're going to slide your band in between. So your band is connected to your pole now, all right? This is where it gets complicated, so try and stick with me. How are we doing? Brilliant, thanks, good. Awesome. Thanks, Tim. So from there, place the band on your feet. Now, it's really important that you stick it on the middle of your feet because then that way you know it's not going to go anywhere. And put your feet slightly towards me, towards the screen, okay? Not all the way because it'll slide down towards your ankles. And you don't want to tuck your toes up and have the band up because it'll flick off and your face is the thing that is going to hit. So be very careful on this one, all right? Midfoot. Toes are slightly facing forward, okay, so that there's no way that it's going to fall off, okay. Now, it's on there. It needs to be bang in the middle of your band, the pole, and so on and so forth. So, but there, you stretch your legs out as far as you can, so the more you pull it, okay, the more it's going to pull. You come over, and you press away. Come there, come down, back there. Goes here, up, press, there, here, there. Okay, so it's a little bit harder now, especially this movement here. Okay, this one is the money maker. And then there, take your time with it. That back should still be straight as you're doing it. Good. Two more. Last one. Relax, okay? So have a little breather, have a little drink if you need it, okay? Or stay in the same position because we're doing one more round, right? Whew. Okay, so how are we feeling? How did we find that? A little bit more challenging, especially that rotation there, okay? A lot of people cheat on that one, okay? And that is the main one that draws your shoulder blades into your rib cage, makes your spine nice and straight, allows you to load everything above you, okay? For the swimmers on the page, okay, it's going to allow you to reach better here and have more power as you pull down and come down fully with the shoulder, okay? A lot of us keep it up there. You need to fully depress that shoulder and get the full range out of your arm as you pull in your stroke. This is one of the main exercises to do that, okay? So it's really important that you do so, okay? Right, you ready? So make sure the band, okay, because notice how mine slipped down. Make sure the band is in the middle of your foot, legs straight, toes slightly pointed, okay? Make sure the band is in the middle so that resistance is the same, okay? You don't want to pull in one side more than the other. Put it right bang in the middle, okay? You ready? Puff your chest up. There, big draw up, rotating it around. There, should be challenging. Pause for a second, then press. Pause for a second, back down, rotating, and away, okay? Really pause and emphasize each key point, because that neural adaptation, that muscle memory is going to be there challenging you each and every way. It's going to get hot, it's going to get sweaty, you're going to be shaky, but this is where the money's at, okay? Strong wrists. Put a fat chest out. Good, keep it up. Good, one more for me, okay? That's it, drive back, squeeze, up, there we go, good. Good, relax, shake it out a sec. How are we doing? Grab a little drink, grab a towel. Should get really hot and sweaty now. How are we doing? Yeah, hurts, definitely part of the chest, okay? So, moment you draw back here, right? Your upper traps, rear delts, rhomboids in between. It's kind of like the belt between your shoulder blades, okay? Attaches the scapula, literally stretches this way, draws back that way, okay? A lot of us overstretch our rhomboids. The more you draw back, okay, so that high pull there, really working those rhomboids, pulls those shoulder blades down, okay? That rotation there, okay, works basically a couple of your rotator cuff muscles. Particularly, there's one between your shoulder blade, the back of your shoulder blade, and your rib cage. It glues. It's literally the glue between that and that. It kind of stops that the apex of your shoulder blade sticking out. If you've got winged scapulas, so if your bottom of your shoulder blade you can feel pointing out at all. If so, more of this you do, the better it's going to draw in. The more you're going to be able to load your squats, your deadlifts, your pull-ups, you name it, anything involving your arms and your shoulders and your back, you want to be glued there, okay? So when you extend up, okay, it's fully working and your arm is fully secure and not in a vulnerable position, okay? What it challenges as well, because it's gluing here, it's going to challenge that lower back, okay? Now, the more you work on here, the more you mobilize that joint, like we did at the start, those mobility exercises, the more you're going to fully flow the range of it, okay? You're going to build the strength of it, and then it's going to take the pressure off here because here's actually starting to work, okay? Then you get a solid, strong back from having strong shoulders, strong back. Then it affects your hips then drive the power, and then everything starts falling into place because you've started correcting your biomechanics. And that is exactly what you want. Now, from there, you're going to spin around again, okay? You're going to stick yourself into that position again, okay? So your feet now have the band. I want you to draw your elbows into a T-shaped position, okay? So they're in line with each other, okay? And you're just doing the last bit of the movement, okay? So it's there, knuckles down. Now, some of you are going to want to rotate the wrist when you get close to the floor because it is going to be tough. You got your knees directly above your hips and you're drawing back and down. The band is going to tap you on the forehead Your wrists are going to tap the floor, and you're going to work hard on not letting your knees travel forward. Just like so. Okay, so keep that up. Try and keep the right angle in the hands. Should start to feel your forearms working a little bit more. Some of you might not have ever felt this before. As you feel those very small muscles working overtime. Last one. Good job. So, have a little rest, have a little drink. Again, let me know how you're finding it. Are you able to do that? Is your wrist nice and strong? Do you find yourself bending your wrist to try and get to there? Because the natural ability is your knuckles are going to want to feel the floor, okay? Now, if you're there and the floor's here and you do that, okay, then yeah, your knuckles hit the floor. You've felt like you've achieved it. What you want is this section here to tap the floor. You want that wrist to be straight, and you literally want, like my bracelet, literally tapping that floor. So then that way I know I've fully engaged and I haven't cheated, because that's an extra 2 inches that I haven't really got to, and I want to be there. So if my arms are here and I'm doing that, okay, a lot of people you see squatting and they've got bent wrists, their elbows aren't engaged, and if you don't engage, then that difference there between here and there is the difference between drawing your shoulder blades in and using your lats. Now your lats literally go underneath your shoulder blade here, all right, into your armpit. It's this squishy part here, and go right the way down to your pelvis. So if they're not engaging, that's like literally 2/3 of your back, okay, that isn't working in tandem with everything else. And then you're going to put that pressure on that lower back. It's going to then break down. You're then going to lead to either muscle injuries or spinal injuries. And that's what you don't want. So just by drawing here, okay, can make a huge difference to everything you do, okay? So from there, you're going to go back into position. However, it's going to be a different sort of movement, okay? So your feet are engaged. You've got that band right back in the middle, okay? Now I want your arms directly in line with your shoulders, okay? Now this one's a tough one, okay? Not all of you are going to be able to do it. Some of you aren't going to go as far as you kind of want. You're going to draw your shoulders down into the floor, okay? Notice that difference. Me leaning forward there, drawing it down, okay? I'm going to draw back as much as I can. My knuckles are going to tap the floor in a solid wrist position, and then I'm going to come back up here, okay? Now notice when I do so, I'm drawing my elbows in, okay? So you can start to see this little part of my arm. I don't have my elbows out, because if they're out, they're going to want to bend to try and help me. What I want is my back muscles doing the work, not my arm muscles doing the work. So big stretch over, tap, draw back, okay? Keep the guidance between in dead straight in front of the chest, dead straight over the head. And then try and keep my knees in line with my hips. So keep gluing that lower back down. That's the driving force. So if that lower back is curving at any point, squeeze it, and even if you get to there and then you can't go anymore without your lower back coming off the floor, then by all means stop and then come back, reset, okay? Good, 2 more. Keep squeezing that lower back as you drive out. So trap it and draw away much as you can. Good. Gently relax. Chuck it down. Let me know how you're doing. Grab a little drink. Got a little rest, and then we'll go around again as you're there. What were we saying? Yeah. So shoulders are going to be sore, okay? Then it's going to be that body that's going to want to cheat to kind of still get going, because your body's always trying to please your mind. Your mind's always trying to please your ego. And that's where it comes into play. Then it goes, right, okay, well, if I do this and I compromise here, 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 I can get it done. But this is where you then have to cut in like a circuit breaker and just go, no, that's wrong. This is wrong. I got to slow it down, and I can feel it even more, and I engage even more as you're doing it. Okay, so it's much harder than it looks, isn't it? You know, and the more you draw there, it's actually your lats that are lengthening as you come up here. It's going to give it that eccentric contraction. It's a powerful contraction, okay? You do that when you're resting on a bench with a dumbbell, okay? You're going to work really, really hard. It's also going to develop your power as you throw away coming through. But you have to draw in here, because, again, it's opening up your chest, drawing and making your shoulder nice and safe, engaging that upper back to then lengthen over. You're then, hopefully, if you're doing it correctly, engaging that lower back by drawing it down, okay? You've got the upper back engaged, and then that back is dead straight as you're here, getting nice and strong, ready for swimming, ready for weightlifting, ready for life, just picking up things and putting it in the top shelf. You know, that's how a lot of people do their backs, cause back injuries to their lower back, because all of a sudden you just go to bend something and pick it up and put it away. Next thing you know, it's just tweaked it, because it's taken so much pressure over and over and over again that just a simple movement has caused it to just go, I've had enough, you know? So slow it down. Make sure those legs are directly like that. Make sure those arms are engaged this way, not that way. Engaged, okay? Draw down, then separate, okay? So same again, nice and slow. Make sure your technique is perfect, okay? We've got to get this biomechanics kind of really engaged, everything engaged, and then all of a sudden that strength is just going to manifest itself and come flowing through, and then you're going to find little things easier than you used to, and your performance is just going to sky high. All right, okay, so you ready? So make sure the band's nice and secure on your feet. Most importantly, don't want any bands flying off and hitting anybody in the face. Make sure the band is right in the middle of your bar, okay? Your hands are directly in front of your shoulders. Your shoulders are then glued down, elbows rotated in, and then drawing all the way over, nice and straight. Gluing that lower back down. Tap in, pause in a second, then coming up. When you come up controlled, okay? You're not whipping away at any point. Sit, nice and slow, nice and steady. Sit, nice and steady, taking your time. Keep those shoulders down, elbows in, low back down. Taking your time, slow and controlled. Good, 2 more. Good job, well done. So sitting up nice and tall, chucking your bands away, chuck your bars away. Give yourself a bit of space as we do so. How are we feeling so far, guys? Everything kind of making sense? If not, don't be afraid to ask. I kind of want you to be able to feel like you can ask me anything. You know, I'm never going to feel threatened or kind of effectively challenged, in the sense that if I don't know something, I don't know, you know, but at the same time, I'm never going to get you to do something that I don't know why you're doing it. Okay. So never feel afraid to ask me a question, so you can improve your greater understanding, because I guarantee you, if you're thinking it, someone else in the group is going to think it, and those comments are going to really matter to both yourself and other people. And it's just going to create this learning environment that I kind of really want, because I want to help you, you know, point blank. Makes sense. Still difficult to do. Yeah, 100%. Okay. The more you practice, okay, and a great way of doing it is if you have super light weights, okay, now I'm talking maybe a 1 kilogram, 2 kilogram, whether it's a dumbbell, one of those little weight discs, okay, come up there, go around and rotate, okay. The more you challenge yourself up here, okay, because you're going to want to stop there. If you challenge yourself there, okay, that's where you are when you're here, okay, that's where you are when you're here, okay, and you're trying to load yourself, when you're trying to press and you're pushing up, okay, you want that end range, okay, to be solid, so you're loading your skeletal system in a correct manner, so your muscles are taking the force and the weight, not your joints. Okay, your joints aren't designed to do to take weight. Okay, so this next one, it's going to be a tough one. Okay, but I'm sure you wouldn't expect anything less. So we've done it previously before. Okay, you're going to use a little soft cushion mat for your knees. Now your knees are directly underneath your hips. You're going to use your slip pad, okay, aka your towel or carry a bag. You're going to come out so your hips are engaged. Now, engaged basically means you can squeeze your bum, you can squeeze your arms. So if you can squeeze one or the other, it means your hips aren't in the right position, okay? Now, you're going to slide out as far as you can without bending your arm. You're going to slide out this way. You're going to come back there, okay? So it's as far as you can with keeping the other arm straight. You're going to go to the side. So it's a straight on the side, back up here. Now, you're going to have some sort of drop, okay? However, your spine is nice and straight. You're going to feel it. So if you're working this arm, okay, you're going to feel it on this hip. Now, you're going to want to rotate, but you're going to drive back into position so those hips stay straight. Now, if those hips can stay straight, it means then you're not rotating your spine. Your spine is dead straight from there. This is your plant pot. This is your tree, okay? And then these are the branches able to do whatever it wants without affecting the trunk, okay? It's really important you do that, right? So I'm going to slightly turn my mat so I can get a greater range of movement, okay? So if you can come all the way up and around further than just the right angle, if you can get to there, then brilliant. But by all means, it's going to be harder the lower you go, okay? So keep the other arms dead straight for now. Okay, so it's forward and there, back around, back here. Do not compromise anything else as you do it. If you haven't already, start moving. Only as far as the arm will allow. You're not bending the other side. You're not coming down. One more. Good job. Swap the sides. Should feel it in those abs. Should feel it in that shoulder. It's got to build up strength in your wrist as you load at one side. Good. Last one. Awesome job. Little breather. So, should have got you warm pretty quickly. Okay, should have felt it here. because as you stretch out, you're going to want to rotate from the hips. Now, you're trying to stabilize here, right? Abs, basically force generators and stabilizers, okay? A lot of us do million crunches, twists, you name it, all these ab exercises, right? Not many of us do anti-rotational exercises. So plank variations, the bear, okay? That dreaded one that I get you to hold here, you know? Pal-off presses where you got one of those elastic bands and you're holding it here and you're trying not to allow it to pull you anyway, okay? Those exercises, anti-rotational exercises, work the core the way that it's designed to, because when you move, you want to be the reason why you move. You don't want your body unable to control those external forces, and it's just being pulled in one direction when you want to hold it over here, okay? Now, the more you practice those things like that, where you're tapping your chest, okay, and tapping your shoulders, and keeping your hips still, you want everything to be still except the limb that you're trying to move, all right? So it's really important that when you do this exercise, everything else is still except the moving parts, all right? Okay, how are we feeling, Tim? Scala to elevate. Keep them deliberately depressed. So by drawing here, okay, first, right? So it draws your shoulder blade in, presses up against your ribcage. When you then come into there, okay, you're naturally moving as you come up, but then your lower back's engaged, okay? So although you can see the little dip there, okay, so that's my shoulder blade drawing into my lower back. As long as my lower back is then tucked in, I've got a straight back, okay? If I allow it and I just come from there and I don't control my lower back, I've got quite a powerful curve, okay? It's then controlling here that you then control, okay? So when you go to do a single version of it, when you stretch out, you're there, it's just being controlled here and then just allowing the movement, but it's that internal rotation there that separates the movement and keeps it controlled and glues it into your ribcage as you allow it to slide and travel and do that kind of movement, all right? So the more you focus on your lower back, squeezing your bum, squeezing your abs, that sets your lower back in place, especially on this exercise, okay? Because it sets the hips in place. If you control the hips, it controls the lower back. If you then engage here, okay, by drawing in and pressing in, okay, it then engages the shoulders. What you then don't need to focus on is anything else, okay? If you focus on the hip, the elbow, it controls the movement, okay? And then all you have to do is focus on staying as still as you can during the movement coming around. Does that make sense? Okay, so when we do this one now, okay, what I want you to do is focus on the hip by squeezing here, squeezing there. That stabilizes that, okay? When you're there, draw in, and that stabilizes that, okay? And then as you move, focus on keeping here still because your upper body will be still. If you focus on locking that arm out and keeping this still, you're doing it right, okay? So, in that position, squeeze your bum, squeeze your abs, draw your elbows in. Notice that difference, elbows in. Okay, you ready? Big stretch forward, draw around. You should be feeling it on the move inside on the front of the hip. Hip flexor, lower abs. Because it's dying to rotate to make it easier. You're trying really hard to keep it up because it wants to drop down. One more. Good, swapping hands. Nice, good job. Well done. Okay, so the next one. Okay, working off the back of that. Yeah, so quite a lot often, right, when we look at movement patterns and correcting it, you're looking at cause and effect, okay? So it's the same with any movement, okay, swimming in particular, right? If you go, all right, I want to look at rotation, typically people look at their shoulders, mobility stems from the hip. You rotate your hip slightly, and then all of a sudden you can twist furthermore, you know? By all means, improve the mobility to do that. And then it comes from there and stems from the bigger joint, you know? If you focus on, well, if this affects this, that affects this, that affects this, and so on, then if you correct that, you kind of put a block in the whole chain reaction, if you will, okay? So sometimes it's overcomplicating things in your head where you go, right, okay, I need to do this, this, this. I don't know how to feel it, you know. If you focus on the prime movers and break each movement down into, right, drawing shoulder blades there, like for a press up, for example, drawing shoulder blades here by controlling the wrist and then bend at the elbow, right? It allows the shoulders to depress and then come up, and you don't get this kind of wide angled press up, you know, just because you've drawn it here and then corrected. All you then have to do is rotate elbows in and then pull back at the elbow so the elbows brushes your t-shirt as you come down, and then effectively you've done a good press up. Now it's when your triceps are weaker that it then really struggles with that press up, okay? So this next one, okay, leading on from that, you are going to press to halfway. You're going to stretch out. You're going to go to wide, back, back up. Okay. Now some of you are going to really struggle going out wide, out to there. Okay. What I want you to do is go here, out, back, back up. Okay. Now when you are doing it, you're keeping your elbows super tight. So what it looks like from the side is your hips are dead straight, your spine is dead straight. Okay, so if I do that, you come down, so it's tight here, you slide there, nothing is compromised as you come up. Okay, so that spine is dead straight. Now that's super, super important as you do it. Now, if Kim's like, what? Right, so the most important thing is hip engagement. Okay, so when you're there, okay, you start everything engaged. You draw your hips into position, you squeeze your back, you squeeze your bum, you squeeze your abs, okay? Then you go elbows down. You don't go all the way down. You're not trying to go to the floor and then stretch out and then come back up, okay? You go in down as you can, make those elbows tight. It's really important that you squeeze the inner part of your triceps into your lats because they're going to stabilize you, right? So it's there, squeezing, coming up, stretch out as much as you can. If you can't, then don't worry. Back in, press when you're solid, okay? Keep it going. Down, big reach out, stretching round. Powerful push away, okay? If you're really struggling, go down and pause. Pause here. Don't move the arm. One more. And press, good job. So, opposite side, straight in, let's go. Okay? Big drive. Great job. One more. Amazing. Stretch it out. So from there, whip yourself around, draw it out, place your hands in front, sink it down. Amazing job, guys. Really, really good. Lots of key things to work on, like drawing those elbows in and making that a natural thing, because it does open up your shoulder joint, takes the pressure off the front of your shoulder, off that acromion, which is like a little hook everything attaches to, and you've got a nice little nerve there. You get that little pinching effect. You get pins and needles in your fingers. So coming up, press it away. So dropping it down. How are we doing, guys? Woo. So sitting on your bum. So realizing the time. Wow. How quick did that fly? Having fun, eh? So one across the top. Let me know how you're doing. Face planted. You get strong in that position, you do that one exercise, and I guarantee you, you're pretty strong with every upper body exercise, period. Okay? The amount of engagement that takes with your shoulder blade, drawing here, and making sure everything is strong as you move there, then back, you will pretty much bulletproof that upper body, that spine, the entire trunk, the press movement, the pull movement, okay? Your lats, those pull-ups there, you'll be pretty good to go on pretty much everything that you do in upper body, all right? So practice, practice, practice. Keep turning up to these sessions. They're gonna make a huge, huge difference. If you haven't noticed it already, it will happen, I promise you, okay? It's how I started, it's how I have got stronger, better, more mobile, changed my posture, because being so tall, I was incredibly rounded, you know, getting back pain, everything seems to be built for averagely heighted people, averagely tall people, general people, and there I am, super tall, getting back problems all the time, you know, so it's really important that you kind of draw back, stand tall, you know, and able to do all this type of stuff. Have an amazing day. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you soon, Tim, and I'll see you soon, everybody else. Tomorrow's lower body prehab. Hopefully I'll see you there. We'll do some fun, exciting things, get you kind of seeing how good you're jumping, hopping, landing, get all those mechanics going, and have a bit of fun with it. Have a lovely day. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful one outside. Hopefully you're able to get out, even if it's just for a nice little walk and a coffee. But have a lovely one. Good, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Kim. I'm glad hopefully everyone else enjoyed it. And yeah, just take one day at a time, you know. Sometimes I think we overload ourselves with how hard training is, you know, and put too much pressure on ourselves. All you've got to do is just turn up, but turn up for social reasons, you know, turn up to see such and such, you know. I certainly turn up to see you guys, you know, because you guys make me happy doing what I do, and because I love doing what I do, you know, and I love trying to help you guys, all right? So keep it up the great work, honestly. You know, if you need me, chuck me a message, and check out those videos that I mentioned earlier. Give them a little like if you enjoy them. Let me know your comments on them. Hopefully they're going to help you out, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Become a part of this community. You're more than welcome. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon. Take care, guys. Have a lovely one. My pleasure.